The NBA just screwed over the Boston Celtics as we just witnessed an absolute diabolical display of officiating from the referees as the Boston Celtics had multiple times late in this game where they were screwed over late. And it is just unacceptable for a team that is trying to win and trying to get up in this series. So we're going to be diving in and looking and discussing what went wrong for this Boston Celtics team, what they were screwed over with in this contest by these referees, and much more. On this episode of Celtics Digest, I am Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been fantastic, showing your love and support on this channel for the while, with the Celtics obviously dominating over this last couple of stretch. It has been fun in games, but unfortunately, with them getting this big time loss, the reactions are going to come out. So I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section, what your ultimate reaction is to this game here versus the Orlando Magic. Without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into the news. As like I mentioned, it was ridiculous that the Boston Celtics just got screwed over by the NBA, and we just witnessed it on our televisions not too long ago. And there's multiple instances that we're going to be discussing and breaking down in this video. Like I mentioned, the Celtics did lose tonight's contest to the Orlando Magic 95-93 in a late game thriller, where the Celtics were able to bounce back, but once again were held back by the referees here in Orlando. We saw late in the end of the game, the Celtics got a rebound and they were gifted 0.3 seconds on the game clock. And I guess everyone else in the arena besides everyone, all the referees thought that it was 0.3, and they were the only ones, as everyone has been reacting as why didn't they get more time added for the Boston Celtics, as they clearly should have had, 0.9, maybe even 1.2 seconds on the shot clock, which could have been a better shot to potentially tie this game instead of going for that late game lob that ultimately did not go well. But you could also argue that the Celtics got fouled on that late game lob as well. But just to mention that, Nick NBA brought up a great point as well with the no over the back with Wendell when Derrick White went out of bounds trying to get the ball. It was ruled a out of bounds for the Boston Celtics, which, let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen, it may have gone off Derrick White, but Wendell Carter was completely reaching over with two hands over Derrick White, and that's clearly an over-the-back foul trying to grab the ball. So right then and there, the Celtics should have been rewarded 2 free throws, which once again would have made it a little bit closer and would have given the opportunity for them to tie the game and potentially get a game-winning shot instead of getting a game-tying shot to send it to overtime. But not just that, where the Boston Celtics screwed over, as Noah Dalzell brought up here as well that the Celtics had a possession late game where Paolo Banchero got the ball tipped by Jayson Tatum. He clearly went backcourt, and it was not called a backcourt, and they got the ball and got the inside out, which led to that shot clock draining shot that led to the Celtics grabbing a late game rebound, which once again they were gifted only 0.3 seconds on the game clock when they should have had more time on this game clock. And it's absolutely ridiculous to see, as like I mentioned, this Celtics team had some injuries coming into the game. No Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Jayson Tatum were ruled questionable. Jaylen Brown being a late game ad, which we posted a video about it, dropping it today. And Jayson Tatum was ruled doubtful going into this contest after missing game 2 with the wrist injury. Both were upgraded, available to play, and both were out there for the Boston Celtics. We saw Jayson Tatum welcome back this great performance with 36 points, shooting 10 for 22 from the field, 12 for 12 from the free throw line, and 40% from three-point range. But not only just that, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, doing what he could do for the Celtics team when he was the main superstar, similar to how Jaylen Brown was in game 2 for the Celtics without Jayson Tatum. We saw Al Horford hit some big-time shots, also get 7 rebounds to play some solid defense. Derrick White, once again, got clutch late game at the end of the game, was playing some solid defense, got the final points for the Boston Celtics, getting that dunk to make it a 2-point game. Jaylen Brown struggled a little bit offensively here, but played some solid defense, 6 rebounds, got into some foul trouble late, and was taken out of the game, which was another questionable thing. And then off the bench here, no really viable success. Luke Kornet had some instances where he was looking pretty dominant in this game, but throughout the game wasn't as effective. And Kristaps Porziņģis, unfortunately, was just getting cooked defensively. As you can see, a minus 16 for the Boston Celtics tonight. Only finished with 7 points and 6 rebounds, with an assist and a steal, and offensively wasn't the greatest either. Franz Wagner was scoring on him late in this game, and unfortunately, that's what cost it for the Boston Celtics. Like I mentioned, we want to look at Orlando and look at their team. Anthony Black had some big-time shots late and early on as well, and Wendell Carter was getting in the groove as well for this team. But once again, it was the Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero show, as they both totaled near 30 points each. Franz 32, Paolo Banchero 29. And this has been the story for the Orlando Magic this whole entire series here. Just those two guys mainly being their offensive contributors. And tonight's contest versus the Boston Celtics, they were able to succeed. If we want to look back at this score, obviously the Celtics in the first quarter were pretty dominant, but in the second, third, and fourth quarter, especially not until late in the fourth quarter, it was difficult for the Celtics to generate some offense on this Orlando Magic team. Their defense was playing some pretty solid defense comparative to the Boston Celtics, kind of mirror matching it, and then later in the game, with Kristaps Porziņģis kind of getting cooked by Franz Wagner, they were even playing better offense than what the Boston Celtics were, while still matching their defensive intensity by still being able to score on them with their dominant offense. It's what led the Magic to get into these big runs, and the Celtics realistically had to climb back in much of this contest really late besides that first quarter, and ultimately it lost them the game here, falling 95-93. With the help of the referees, the Orlando Magic were able to get this game done, but I fear nothing for the Boston Celtics here, as with this Celtics team, they obviously have 2-1 series lead versus Orlando. They had lost one game versus the Miami Heat and versus the Cleveland Cavaliers last series in the playoff at home, and still came out of those series in 5 games. And I still feel confident in my prediction with the Celtics. My boy Nate, who writes our Celtics blog, came up with a great analyzation as well, talking about how the Celtics missed Jrue Holiday in this contest as well, and his perimeter defense is definitely going to be needed in this late game scenarios going up against this Orlando Magic team, and I think he will definitely be a necessary addition for the Celtics team coming in on Sunday, hopefully back into this lineup for Game 4. But once again, I'm not worried about this Celtics team. Yes, it's a disappointing loss. Yes, we're meant to have these overreactions. Yes, the referees did screw over the Boston Celtics. The NBA did give the Orlando Magic a little bit the benefit of the doubt by handing them a victory towards the later end of the game. But the Celtics ultimately did not play the best as well, right? They struggled throughout some quarters, specifically that third quarter offensively, where the Magic were really able to take that lead and really pour over into this Celtics team from the first half. And that's what allowed Orlando to gain this momentum on the home court to beat this Boston Celtics team. Like I said, I think this series is definitely going to be physical. We've seen it be physical all throughout with some altercations. We saw Jayson Tatum get into one with KCP a little bit early on. We saw those late game scraps with obviously Wendell Carter and Derrick White fighting for that ball, which should have been, in my opinion and Nick NBA's opinion, amongst many other Celtics fans' opinions, an over the back foul on Wendell Carter. But it is exciting to see what the Boston Celtics are going to be able to do to rebound and bounce back from this game. Like I mentioned, they take on the Orlando Magic on Sunday once again, and then they'll be coming back to TD, which I still think they will be able to get it done and close this series in 5 games. We'll have to wait and see who's available and who's not. Ultimately, hoping for a bounce-back game from Porziņģis and Jaylen Brown here offensively for the Boston Celtics late in Game 4, and that's something I think to keep an eye on for Joe Mazzulla in his adjustments to get KP getting mobilized and utilized with this team, similar to how he was in the previous game in Game 2, where he was very dominant. But let me know your thoughts. Like I said, down below in the comment section. It is a disappointing loss, but with predicting the series, thinking the Magic, the Celtics would win in 5 or 6 games, I knew the Magic would win at least 1, potentially 2 games, so I was going into this series knowing it eventually would happen. Unfortunately, it sucks that it was a game that I truly believe the Celtics could have won, and I wish it would have been a game where it was a bad shooting night for the Boston Celtics, as these type of games that kind of extend the series are not the greatest, but hopefully this builds some character for this team going to the playoffs, realizing that, once again, this Eastern Conference is tougher this year, and it's going to be a definite uphill battle with all these teams praying against you being the defending champions. I think they'll be able to overcome it, but I want to know what you think. So once again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Hope you guys enjoy the content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.